All right, looks like we're live. It's Wednesday, September 29th. Couple people in here early with me. What's up? Thank you for coming in. Looks like Josh Stewart's in here early already. Chef Daddy said good morning. Sorry, never replied to the KPLT question. Didn't have the heart after the congrats on Sunday night. Yeah. Um, no, I still appreciate it though. Chef Daddy texted me on Sunday right after the Niners scored, and I think everybody knows what happened shortly after that. But it was still a great game. We had a good time. I'm glad we went. It was obviously not gonna win them all, but man, what a it was just a crazy game. It felt like early on in the game like they weren't gonna win regardless. Like they weren't the better team, and then they finally got moving and woke up a little bit, and feel like if they had one more quarter, things might have changed. But it is what it is. Um, let's see. Div by Zero, what's up? Good morning. Noir, Michael, what's up? La Clova Nostra, KLF, Sir Lucky Charms. Michael says today's the day we're gonna finish green. Yeah, yesterday was just a really crazy day in the markets. And it's hard. Um, when you are watching your portfolio every day, you know, um, as intensely as probably as we are, and then, when you hit days like that in the market, it's red for everybody. So, when you're used to seeing all the manipulation and everything else, and then you see a day like yesterday, I mean, those days are just going to come and go. But there was actually in Clove, in regards to Clove, even beyond what happened with the overall markets yesterday, there was, I think, some high short volume too. So, um, and I'll pull all that up in a second. But I was looking this morning, and it looked like dark pool volume was back in the 50% range, where it hadn't been that way since the 15th, I think. And short volume was at 63% yesterday. We've only had one other day in that, in the 60% range, and that was last Friday. Other than that, for pretty much the last month, um, we haven't seen very many days where short volume even exceeded 50%. So they did hit the stock pretty hard yesterday on the short side. 6-8 Spindrift, what's up? Julio, Pete, Dennis D. Um, Matt says new on the channel. Thanks for the knowledge. All good. I'm just having fun doing this. I really am. I never expected to do YouTube or anything like that. And, I'm glad I did because I'm really having a good time. But I appreciate your support, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Big Nate says driving. All right, hey. So I gotta. I'll be more of an announcer today. Sometimes I forget that some people are just listening. Um, oh, there we go. Does it sound better? Um, Sometimes I forget to check that mic before I get going. Thanks, Noah. I just seen your message right there. Um, that should sound way better. I guess I was using the computer audio for a second there. And I know I'm talking low, so you probably didn't hear anything I said to start the day off. um, but thanks for the message. I appreciate it. That should sound a lot better. Um, but yeah, basically what I was saying was, sometimes I forget. Big Nate said he's driving right now, so I'll make sure and actually, be more of an announcer and actually say what the prices are on some of these stocks. Um, for those of you that are just listening. Um, all right, so All right, Chef Daddy, I just seen you'll be listening too. Um, all right, so real quick, we'll just look around. Clove ended yesterday at 786. It's currently trading at 783. Not much going on there. Some of the other stocks I've been following, GameStop closed yesterday at 178.60, currently 179.99. Still looks like everything's kind of flat. I don't see at least any of the stocks that we've been watching, or I've been watching some of the squeeze plays. SDC, TMC up a little bit. The big one is actually GREE, GREE. That used to be SPRT. That's a big play that DeGen was on. That's WSB Degenerate, or Buy the F and Dip. He had been talking about this since the merger and how it got hit hard, and how that's a mining play, and this was one to kind of keep an eye on. And looks like last night, I'll pull that one up real quick. It's been trading around 23.65 since that merger, and last night it got a price target upgrade of, I believe, $78. So quite a bit of room there to. That's why it's gapping up right now. Came up on some of my scanners this morning because of the gap up. So this might be a good one to day trade, but at the same time too, sitting at $27, with a $78 price target, and how short of the shit it's been since it came in, this might be one to really keep an eye on as a squeeze type play. The chart looks a little crazy just because, they did the merger, and I think when it came in from the merger, SPRT was trading much lower, and then it had its own squeezes previously, but then it kind of got shorted right off the bat, and so yeah, it's sitting down here at 23 right now, or I'm sorry, 27 is where it's trading at this morning. But this one's one that I'm going to start keeping an eye on for the next couple days. Michael says I need to do some jumping jacks or something. I'm dragging. Yeah, I woke up around 4. Been drinking some coffee, but I am feeling a little bit more tired this morning. So let's do a quick review of kind of what happened yesterday real quick, and then we'll get into like some scans, and then we'll start talking Clove. But the SPY yesterday, I talked about how we were looking way over here, and it was starting to gap down again. And I know I talked about this on Monday night on the No Financial Limit show. I wasn't ready to, say that the dip was over, and that we may still have a correction coming. Still sitting with a lot of cash, and yesterday the SPY gapped down to 439, and continued to sell off. I mean, hitting a low of 432. I re-entered my my SPY puts somewhere around here once I saw it fill the gap and continue down. So I'm sitting on some $410 puts for December again. Looking pretty good right now. I actually got a better entry point yesterday than I had in my original play back last Monday. And really, I'm just trying to play on, the possibility of there maybe being a correction. We're seeing this second dip now. And if we do get like a 10% correction, that's going to bring the SPY all the way down to here. A lot of the stocks look like they're already in correction mode, though. If you look across the markets and just look at some of these stocks, they've lost a ton right now. So there's going to be some good buying opportunities if we can continue to kind of go down with the markets. And that's why I kind of went all cash back here, last week. I don't want to say all cash. I still have positions in play, but I went majority cash, I should say. Pull up this 1 minute chart. But yesterday was pretty crazy. I mean, even some gaps intraday, where volume kind of just fell off momentarily. You know, seemed like volume kind of dried up across the markets from the stocks that I was kind of looking at. Kind of found a double bottom here and started rallying back, but still ended up closing out the day at 434. I think that was one of the largest drops in the SPY that we saw. Um, I think going back quite some time. It is up right now in pre-market, trading at 436, coming off of a close of 433 yesterday. But I'm still thinking that we're gonna see a little bit more red days here in the markets. Um, so I'm just kind of holding back. The big play that I'm looking to re-enter is DraftKings, and I still haven't. It's still kind of trending downwards. I'm still very bullish on this stock. I just think that, like much of the markets, it's going to continue to get drugged down. So, um, yeah, just kind of hold my breath and seeing what how these things play out. Cuckoo Bird, what's up? Good morning. Danny did it. Ross Lowe, no, I didn't do any jumping jacks. Michael was just telling me to hit some holiday option. Stock Hunter says I've been playing CLNE. It's been good to me the last 2 days. It's gonna pop. JG, what's up? Good morning. So let's take a look at real quick. I want to look at the plays that we had talked about from the scanner yesterday. I didn't day trade anything yesterday. I know Alf looked like a decent play for anybody who did. You know, kind of like this nice range here from 777 up to 839. Then again, maybe some other entry points here at 804 all the way up to 868. I mean, that's almost a 10% move. Again, another opportunity to kind of jump in here at 816, you know, to 848, 834 to 870, and then it kind of just fell off for the rest of the day. The other one that I kind of was looking at on my watch list yesterday was Zevo. Traded under VWAP all day. Looked like volume even dropped off on it too. I don't know that I necessarily would have jumped into this play at all if I was. I was just really busy at work. SNOA was another one. And again, it just kind of, that was coming off a gap up. And I don't think that it really, I mean, I maybe would have tried to jump in here, but there really wasn't a lot of a price action in there yesterday. FAMI, I think, was the biggest one that I said I wanted to take a look at yesterday. And again, I didn't day trade anything, but looks like there was some good runs in there. 23 cents, you know, up to 24, and really you should be looking at the decimals there, 23.05 up to 24.81. So there looked to be some nice little runs in there. But again, I didn't play anything. Let's take a look real quick at what's coming up today on the scanner. Let's see. Turt says new upgrade GREE $78 price target. Yeah, that's the first thing I mentioned on here this morning was you know, I know Degenerate was talking about that on his spaces like shortly after the merger, and how this was one that he was gonna, you know, get in there and buy the dip on and try to start a new position on. And you know, because it's a mining play, and just kind of looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin kind of coming back to 50, and you know, everything else. And they just released that $78 price target yesterday, and you know, the stock's currently trading at what, 30, closed yesterday at 23. It's right now it's at around 27. So nice gap up there, and you know, definitely some opportunity in there. But you know, I am on a group message with him, and he was kind of one thing that he was saying this morning, which makes a lot of sense, was that it's going to be really based on Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin comes down more, then you're going to see that price target go down. If Bitcoin all of a sudden rips past 50 later on this year, you're going to see that price target go up. So this was really a play that I think is meant to track the movement of Bitcoin because it's a mining play. What's up, Scotty? Good morning. Dan, what's up? Joey G says, morning, coach. What do you think of Champion Vibes bat TA with such a manipulated stock? Can TA really play out? I don't think so. I really don't. I've watched a lot of Champ Vibes videos. I think he's a really intelligent dude. I really do. I think anyone who's trying to learn, TA, that's a great place to start. And but I think that with these manipulated stocks, there's a handful of stocks out on the market right now, probably more than a handful, that have just been manipulated to shit, and I don't think that TA means as much with these stocks. I really don't. It's just after being in some of these plays for months and day trading some of the other ones, and just watching, like perfect example is like a AMC or a GameStop. I've seen people draw lines and talk about breaking out of wedges and doing all this stuff going back since January, so 9 months now, and most of it, if not all of it, never plays out. And I'm not saying anything negative about technical analysis in general. I just think that with these meme stocks, so to speak, or these highly manipulated stocks, highly shorted stocks, a lot of times that stuff just doesn't play out the way that the technical analysis is saying that it should. I'm a firm believer in TA. Like I think that if you're trading with TA, especially swing trading and looking for entry points, and exit points and things like that, it's a great tool to have in your toolbox. And I know that Champ Vibes been right a lot. I mean, guys are making money playing some of those things that he's calling out. I just don't know that it applies so much to your Cloves, your GameStops, your AMCs, your some of these other ones. Present Minds, what's up? Good morning. All right, let's I want to take a look real quick and just see where we're at with the some of these scans this morning. I was looking at some earlier. I'm still likely not going to even day trade today. I've just been so busy at work right now that I might have the opportunity to jump in and out of something like really quick if I see it, but otherwise I'm not going to enter any trades when I'm not going to be able to sit there and be able to get in and out of them at my leisure. So like the SPY puts that I got back into yesterday, that's more of a swing. I could enter it, set some alerts, set some stop losses. That's something I plan on being in for at least a couple of days, so it's a little bit different. But let's check out these trades. So GOVX is coming up on my volume scanner, and also came up on a gap scanner. Also came up on L Train. I know I always talk about L Train scanner every morning. He sends out his scanner as well, and so this one's came up on a lot of stuff. It's definitely gapped up 21% right now. Was even higher. Looks to be a let me see here, pharmaceutical stock that GeoVax Labs adds pipeline with acquisition of clinical stage cancer drug candidates. So it's jumping on news. went as high as 40% up. You're looking at a 5.8 million float, and 3 million in volume already traded right now this morning. So definitely a good candidate. We're going to have a ton of volume in there, which should give some, not make the trading as choppy. I mean, if you look back, and this is what I mean when I talk about stuff being choppy, like if you look in at, prior to this morning, and you just see like little lines and the stocks moving all over the place and jumping and stuff. But then you look at today, now all of a sudden you're seeing nice candles, right? That's what you want to be doing when you're day trading, along with other stuff. But so I think this is a pretty decent candidate. If we take a look at the daily chart, it has traded up here before, and it's not like it's gapping up to an all-time high or anything like that. But it is looking to open somewhere around this $5 mark, $5.11. And, if we kind of zoom out a little bit, I don't see that there's like any major resistance appearing on the chart. If anything, I would say that it might open up and find some support somewhere around $5. So, just doing like a little bit of quick look at this. So, this could be interesting. It is up, so I'm not saying, jump into this stock. Again, these ones that I'm scanning for are opportunities to day trade. High volume, it's gapping up right now, so you're probably going to see it. Obviously, I'm not a genius. It's either going to go up or down at the bell, but more than likely it'll probably try to come down and fill the gap a little bit. And then when it does, you'll have these opportunities where it starts to bounce back up, and you're going to have a nice wide range on this stock because it's up 40%. Could provide some opportunities to jump in and out of. So that's GOVX. That already kind of seems like my favorite on the day. I was looking at some of these ones earlier. Also on this scan is Lucid. It looks like it's running a little bit more today, up 5%. Volume's at 1.8 million, which really isn't much compared to its total float. I'm going to keep looking and see what else we could find. BHP, I already don't like what I see here. It looks pretty choppy and not a lot of volume coming in on that one. So some of the other ones, if we look at volume increases, GOVX is right at the top. A lot of these other ones, again, not enough volume to really get me excited right now. Let me see here. And then coming off the rest of the scan list, I was looking at a gap scanner this morning, and I think it was ITRM came up. We had a pretty decent gap up right there. This is 181 million float. Currently only seeing about 100,000, or where we at? Volume on ITRM. Volume's about 4 million. So definitely picking up. If I take a look at, on average, it usually has 5.8 million in volume. I'm looking at the wrong. Why am I looking at? Oh, it's because I have it highlighted. Sorry, guys. I am tired. I need more coffee. But still not a lot of movement in here either. Looks like the news on ITRM. Class action lawsuit. That's just an alert. Yeah, not sure what's going on with that gap up there.
The other ones that came up on the gap scanner was GREE, which we talked about already. This is one that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. It's up 15% this morning. Already seeing what 300,000. That's not too impressive volume wise, but I'm gonna just go ahead and add GREE to the rest of the list. So right now, just GOVX and GREE, and then the other one that came up on the gap scanner and L train scanner that I'm really that I was also kind of intrigued with was RGS. So RGS, if we take a look at that one right now, we're looking at almost 1 million in volume. It's a 29 million float. Trading down here at $4. Looks like recently just hit a bottom of 365. I mean, if we go back, it's kind of been trading in this range for quite some time. So, looks like recently it was as high as $7 though. Not going too far back. If we try to see what kind of news we're looking at here, why it's moving, it just got a price target from $6 to $12. So, increased price target a couple weeks ago, and now it's starting to maybe that's why it's starting to move. I don't see any other news happening there, but this one with the gap up, same sort of thing. You know, we could end up seeing it kind of trickle down a little bit and then looking to jump in and ride that thing back up. So, not a lot. I'm gonna be quite honest. You know, we've had some better days looking at some of these stocks. But right now, I would maybe go with GOVX, GREE, and RGS is what I'm going to be watching. The other ones that I've been kind of watching that were on my watch list yesterday, I talked about ATER, see what's going on there. If we kind of look back yesterday, it was kind of falling down. It had a nice rip right off the open, and then it just flushed for the rest of the day. Came down and touched 11. Right now it's trading at 11.23, but that's off a close of 11.37. Looking at the daily chart, it does look like it lost a lot of volume yesterday, and volume has been steadily decreasing since the 22nd. So this is kind of like what we saw before the last pop, though, right? If we go back to 913 when it had hit the high of 1925, volume slowly decreased until it got down to about 15 million, and then it started climbing back up. Yesterday, volume decreased until it got back down to 19 million. I'm just going to keep watching this play because other than yesterday, there's been some great opportunities to jump in and out of this thing. You know, and you know, it's still, even yesterday, if you were trying to day trade this, there was definitely some ones like this move right here, you know, could have been pretty profitable if you played it right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put ATER on the watch list, and then I'll get back to the chat right now, and then we'll start talking some Clove and looking at some other stuff. But let's see here. JR is asking to take a look at AFRM. Looks like it closed yesterday at 113.25 or 114.52. Currently trading at 119. Damn, this thing's been moving for quite some time. Kind of choppy though. Look at these gaps. Looks like it gaps up, gap up. What is this stock? AFRM. Upgraded price target this morning to 110. but it's already trading above that. Affirm to join PayPal and allowing users to buy and sell Bitcoin and other crypto. Okay. Got some call sweeps for 130 earlier this week. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about this play. I know there's a ton of gaps down here, a ton of gaps sitting here that haven't been filled to the downside. So I don't know. I mean, if you already got in this previously and you were like swing trading it and you already got some profits, especially with the way the markets are right now, I would maybe definitely have some stop losses or take some profits along the way. But I mean, there's really no way to know, right? I mean, we had a huge gap here that never got filled, and then it gapped back up again, creating another one. And yeah, I'm honestly, I mean, my 10-second opinion, I have no idea. Danny did it. Something brewing with PLT. Man, you called that one out yesterday too, I think. And I never had an opportunity to look at it. There was like 3 plays that you guys had told me to take a look at yesterday. USWS was another one too. And USWS actually came up on another scanner today. So let me take a look at those as well. But yeah, PALT. Looks like it got a huge increase in trading volume, but like no news behind it. It's also not I looked at like even the FINTEL list this morning, to see what they had kind of listed. I don't recall seeing it even on like a short squeeze list or anything. So not sure what's going on there. What's up, Michelle? Kamal saying check out Plag and Root. Let me see. I'm just gonna look all these up real quick and see what's going on. This one looks pretty intriguing. This is USWS. Looks like it was trading as low as 74 cents yesterday, closed at 83 cents. Ended up, hitting a high of 104 this morning. On a volume level, let's check this out. You got a 60 million float, and it's already seeing 1 million in volume this morning. So this could be another one to play. It's gapping up right now, only about 4% though. But I know this is one that someone had called out for me to take a look at yesterday, and my apologies, I still haven't. But I wanted to just take a look at the stock and see what's going on with it. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like force anything either in terms of like looking at plays to jump into for day trading and stuff. Louis, what's up? Good morning. Aco, what's going on? All right, I'm going to get to Clove now. We'll go take a look at that, and then maybe we'll see if anything else comes up on these scanners. But right now, in terms of stuff that I'd maybe be looking to play, ATER, I'm going to keep an eye on. And I think GOVX still kind of seems like the winner right now this morning, at least in terms of volume, the range that maybe could be coming off that gap. And, there might be some good opportunities to get some plays in here. That's really all I really like this morning. Present Mind says, how'd your watch list perform from yesterday? I didn't day trade anything yesterday. I did buy some SPY puts that are up a little bit again, so I re-entered that position, but I didn't do anything. The one that looked the best, I kind of went over it a little while ago, but it looked like of those four plays, Alf kind of looked the best. In terms of opportunities to kind of get in and out. SNOA, I'm actually glad you brought that up. It was trading downwards yesterday, and so I don't think there was much there in terms of the scan, but that's one that I actually saw pop up on FINTEL's short squeeze report today in the top 5. So I wanted to take a look at Ortex just to see what's going on with that one, and I just recognized the ticker when I saw it, and it looks like, man, Ortex is showing it at about 8% short interest. Cost to borrow increasing to 18%, but it's got 99% utilization. So, not sure what this play's all about, like what's going on with it, but might be one to maybe just keep in the back of your mind too, if it's rising up right there and it's coming down right now. Where is my Clove level 2? There we go. All right. Yeah, Chef Daddy said Alf performed like a monster. I don't have time, and last week I was home a little bit more, so I had some time to really get in and out of trades, and I had a lot of fun too. And even the week before, while I was at work, I was able to enter and exit some of those big plays like ATER and IRNT and some of those other ones, like before I even took off for work, and make a nice profit before the day started. But yesterday and the day before, I've just been too damn busy. I don't have time during the day, so just kind of kicking back and watching, waiting for some opportunities that I can get jump in on. Looks like the SPY is looking pretty rough right now. Again, I just saw out of the corner of my eye. It looked like maybe it was trying to come back, but it's it finished yesterday at 433, and it kind of bounced off, hit this 435 level earlier, and I was thinking, okay, maybe it's gonna run back, but no, it's looking to open up low again. Might be another red day in the markets. We'll have to see how this goes. So Clove, let's take a look at it and kind of see what happened yesterday and what's been happening. Again, the entire market kind of sold off yesterday and flushed a little bit. We saw Clove come down and touch low at 761. Looked like it tried to bounce up here, caught some resistance at VWAP, had a nice late day run, getting as high as 789. And then nothing much happening after that. But if we look at the daily chart, and this is what really, to me, this is why, if anything, just confirms my opinion that we're kind of at the bottom. Like, we've just been holding this level for so long. And when you see, the market's doing what they're doing and dragging down all these other stocks like they are, most of these other stocks don't look like they're just trading sideways like this, because they're getting pulled down tremendously by the markets. I think we're not seeing that with Clove because it's so undervalued already, and the stock's continuously being hit. It's not like, we're not seeing the same type of manipulation anymore. If we look at like Chart Exchange, we saw 50% of the orders being routed through the dark pool again yesterday. That hasn't happened since back on September 15th. And then previously, that whole week prior, we saw a lot of 50% days, but, still getting orders routed through the dark pool. We look at the short volume yesterday, 63%, and 2 days prior, 61%. So not only is the market drawing down right now, but we're also still kind of seeing this manipulation happening to the stock as well. And they can't keep it down, or they can't get it to go any lower, I guess is what I'm saying. Look at some of these other stocks are just, your average everyday stock. Let's look at like an Apple. I mean, these things are taking some losses right now as the market's kind of declining. DraftKings has been falling for a while now. Disney, and I guess what I'm trying to illustrate here is, I guess Disney's more kind of found this little, where it's just kind of hanging here too. But most of these stocks are all falling, taking some big hits. And Clove, we're just holding that level at like right in that $8 range, $7.70, somewhere in there. So I really do think we're at the floor. Even if the market was to sell off and go on a correction and dip another 5%, I don't know that Clove is going to fall much more, because I feel like, it's already there at the bottom, and it's going to continuously see that buying support to push it back up. Nothing really showing on Ortex data. I took a look at that this morning, but I'll pull it up again. Looks like cost to borrow 1.66, shares on loan 54 million, utilization 81%. So nothing too exciting there numbers wise. It's I know yesterday and the day before we did see some nice options buying coming in on the stock. Check it out right now. Show you guys what I'm looking at in regards to that. So this is Clove on Tradie Ticks. Overall flow again from yesterday was bullish, but it does look like their algorithms right now is showing a divergence to the downside. So Tradie Ticks has this algorithm, and basically it's based off, I want to say, dark pool volume and also options flow. And then so you look at like the price action, and then it brings over, look at the price action up here, and then the algorithm looks to be pulling this stock downwards right now. Is the way this would read out. If we look at calls that came in yesterday, looks like these are large orders. $6 call for November. Someone paid $2.15, so they're banking that the price is going to be over $8.15. And then at the $10 strike in December, paid 77 cents. So they're banking on this stock being $10.77 by December. So only 2 yesterday, but still very bullish. We're starting to see some of these strikes get a little bit more loaded up, which again can provide that fuel when the stock's ready to make a run. But I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I probably do regardless. But I really think I think it was Mac Bracken but that pointed it out, and he kind of gave this list of what needs to happen, and I think he was spot on. I think we need to see either increase, like kind of like quarter 3 increase revenue, You know, that's one potential catalyst. Any sort of analyst price target upgrade, I think will pump some volume into the stock and get the stock moving. Also, right around the corner is the star ratings coming out. We see a 4-star rating. I think this stock can go wild. And that's in October. I'm not sure on the exact date. I want to say I read it was October 10th or 9th. But that can also be a major catalyst because, you know, hitting that 4-star rating for Clove would make them instantly profitable. And, you know, we could see some huge volume, and also that would absolutely trigger some analyst upgrades as well. So, you know, that's something that I'll be looking out for as well. Noir says could start red and end very green too. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I mean, the SPY sometimes will start off red and then all of a sudden just start ripping back, or it'll start green and start selling off. There's no way of really knowing based on pre-market, but and it looks like it's kind of coming back right now too. So you're absolutely correct. Zeke says Clove's the only red stock on my watch list. Let's see here. Jason says check out CCXI, a pharma company that got hammered down to $10. Owing to the FDA requesting more data, it's been climbing steadily. FDA decision to approve imminent. Japan just approved. Let's take a look at it. CCXI. Take a look at the daily chart. Oh yeah, you can see that. Looks like it fell off a cliff. 48.40 all the way down to 10.57. I gotta change this view. It's gonna drive me crazy. There we go. Quite a big gap to fill there too to 26, but it looks like it's been steadily, like you said, steadily climbing right now. RSI is kind of in an overbought territory right now. I mean, it's getting up there. It wouldn't shock me to see a little bit of pullback, even if this thing wants to keep running. But also wouldn't shock me to just all of a sudden see this thing rip up and fill the gap before then. Volume on this stock looks to be like somewhere around what, 1 million to 2 million daily. Let's see here. CCXI. Looks like the float size is 53 million. So not too ridiculously big. And yeah, recent news of approval in Japan. Okay. Looks like we got one new play popped up on this scanner too. Fold. What do we got here? Another FDA accepts Amicus Therapeutics application for disease treatment. So they're popping on news. This is a 242 million float, seeing 1.8 million in volume right now. Was trading at 10. Looks like it popped up to a 30% gain at a high, and now it's kind of gap filling and coming back down. So this one might be pretty intriguing too. Again, I'm just looking at range. You know, we just had like a 17% move just right here in this fall. It looks like, maybe a little less than that. Yeah, probably about 15% move right there. And you know, so with this type of range, you can make a lot of money and lose a lot of money, but this will be one that I'll be checking out if volume starts picking up here on Fold. That's what you want. You want a stock that's got the opportunity to move. So, if it comes down and kind of, you're able to find an entry point later on in the day and it's trading at like $11 and starts taking off, we know it's got the room to move to 12 or 12.50, throughout the day. And that's 10%, and sometimes when you're day trading, even a 1 or 2% move is huge. So if you can get in on something that'll maybe give you a 5 to 10% move or more than that, I really like this one too. I'd like to see how the volume plays out though. If we look at the daily chart on this, so right now it's trading at 1018 and closed yesterday at 1018, opening up today at 1150. So it looks like it's looking to trade here, and it got stopped. Looks like that might be some resistance at 1223. If it can break above that, it doesn't look like there's a... Oh, it's got a huge gap down here from how long ago is this? February of 2021. A gap up to like $18. This one looks pretty cool. I like Fold right now. I'm actually gonna add that on and maybe bump off like RGS or something else. If I was gonna pick 4 stocks to watch today, I'm gonna go GOVX, GREE, ATER, and Fold. All right, let's pull this back over. All right, let's see here. Buddha says, where Clove is now, is there a good chance you see us hitting a 4-star rating? I mean, I got to be honest. I'm not like, I've never worked in the medical industry. I've never, in terms of health insurance and stuff. So, but the one thing that I do know is over the last, 2 or 3 months, we saw Clove being like, honored by, there was that thing in Atlanta that they were asked to speak at, healthcare conferences, not about the stock or anything, but about what they're doing, what their AI is doing and kind of their vision. And it really seems like, I mean, yeah, they're a business, but they're trying to change the game in healthcare and, kind of putting patients first is their whole thing. And, the quality of care that their patients are receiving. So not knowing much about what makes a company a 4-star company. I mean, I know they also added the grocery benefit. About 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago now. It's been quite some time, but so there's so much that Clove has done recently, including I want to say they hired a director to handle their star ratings, and get them up there to that point. I don't know if that's going to make an effect right now on this next thing, but I would assume so. I mean, I think so. Um, you know, but that could just be me being optimistic too. But I mean, if that happens, I want to say, from what I remember hearing, like becoming a 4-star, health insurance, getting that rating gets them for Medicare, gets them like automatically like maybe $500 more monthly. I think is the number per patient per life under management. And that's why I say that would make them like instantly profitable. So, um, you know, I'm hopeful and optimistic that this is something that we'll see being announced. Um, Now, even without that, if that doesn't happen, I would also imagine that in the coming, um, in the coming quarters with Q3 and Q4 coming up, and now with this approval of the expansion that we just saw recently, I mean, you look at like just the growth that the company's seen in their current coverage area, and now they just doubled that. Um, so even that alone, I think, might bring on enough revenue to make them profitable a lot sooner than originally anticipated. So, and profitability is kind of the big one, right? Because I think that's like the last bear thesis in all of this is, we've been seeing revenue increases for quite some time, but the company's still not profitable. Someone who's down on the stock is going to sit there and say that, oh, well, they're going to run out of cash. They're going to run out of cash. But I think Clove has, I don't think cash is an issue for Clove. I think they have enough to get them through like another year at this, at old rates. And then you look at the revenue increases, they should be able to maybe last a little bit longer. Um, and then, if cash really was an issue for them, I think they wouldn't have went cashless with those warrants that they did when they chose to redeem them early. So you start taking all that into account. I really think that the leadership of this company knows the path that they're on and maybe knew that they're in line to get this 4-star rating, or knew that they were in line for this expansion, or whatever it may be. I think we're going to see profitability here shortly, and when that comes, there's really going to be nothing to justify a $9 price target. And again, we're just talking health insurance right now, and not even mentioning the tech side. Whenever that starts happening and playing out, and being factored in. Patrick, I know you asked this same question yesterday. Looking for your thinking on Apollo Management adding 1 million shares with the coming merge meeting on October 4th. I mean, I really don't know. So Apollo Management, I tried looking for it yesterday in the 13G filings. I didn't see anything. But I'll try to look again. My thoughts on VIH right now, kind of like I said, is I'm playing this as a a squeeze play, and also a gamma squeeze potential play, and really just a SPAC that also is somewhat of a crypto play, right? And you can get in close to NAV right now, and that's kind of, I'm trying to find my VIH ticker, like it's trading at 10.15. But so Apollo Management, I just seen it right there. 13G Impact Acquisition Holdings. What exactly had, like, if you yeah, I gotta be honest. I mean, I'm not gonna read through the filing right now unless you want to tell me exactly what happened with it. But based on what I'm reading, that you're saying is they added 1 million shares. Did they add that? Did, like, they purchased 1 million shares? I mean, if that's the case, I would say that seems bullish. If you're saying they added 1 million shares to the float, I apologize. I didn't have time to look into this yesterday, so I can't really answer the question. But I know that the merge meeting is coming on October 14th, and that's kind of where I'm assuming this will bring some movement into the stock. I think the next thing that's going to add in, kind of to the hype of the stock, or get eyes looking at the stock, is when they announce the actual merge date. We might see some movement leading up to October 14th. Or it could be that coming out of that meeting, they announce what the details of the merger are, and when the merger is going to take place. And now all of a sudden, We get more information, again, more eyes on the stock, more volume pushing into the stock, and, a low float stock with quite a bit of open interest in the option chain and quite a bit of short interest. So yeah, I'm sorry though. I know you asked that yesterday, and I even wrote the question down, but I didn't look into any of these stocks or anything. When I left here yesterday, I went straight to work, and I didn't get an opportunity to look it up, what was going on with that filing. But if you throw it in the comments, like exactly what happened, about adding 1 million shares, like I can give you my opinion on it, from that regard. But I didn't have time to really like look through the filing or anything like that. Buddha says, appreciate you sharing your knowledge on that. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the 4-star, I mean, when you look at like what Clove does, right? Or what their vision is and what they've been honored for. I mean, they've been asked to speak at some conferences. I think they're, on the side of like healthcare and or insurance providers, and what their vision is for their clients and how they're trying to help people. And if you listen to Vivek talk and Andrew Toy speak about, how they really care about their patients, and they're putting their kind of like putting their patients above the bottom line. To me, I would imagine that should get somebody a 4-star rating, but I don't know what the criteria is in there. Does it have to do with, some of the benefits that you're offering, like the grocery benefit and things like that? I mean, I know they added that on, but I would imagine, that they should be eligible for it. TW, what's up? Good morning. Let's see here. Just looking around. If you're joining us a little bit late today, the stocks that I'm putting on the watch list are right up here. Fold, ATER, and GOVX, and also GREE. GREE just got an updated price target to $78. I'm going to kind of keep that in the back of my head, and see where that one goes today. It closed yesterday at 23, and I think right now it's trading at about $30, so it's continuing to move up. Oh yeah, it looks like even while we've been sitting here talking, it ran up to 31. So I think GREE is definitely one that to keep an eye on today. This is, again, for anyone who's unfamiliar, this was previously SPRT up until I think a couple weeks ago. It's been hammered down tremendously by shorts, and getting a price target upgrade of almost 3 times what it's trading at. I think we're going to see some insane movement today in this stock. Definitely some opportunities to jump in and out, make a little cash, whether it be on the way up or way down. But I know that, some other people I've been talking to, really see this as a long-term play too, as being undervalued right now. But this thing's moving. It really is. So that's kind of the other one that I have on the watch list this morning. Looking at Clove right now. So Clove is currently trading at 781. What are we at? 605. So about 25 minutes before the bell. ATER is kind of heading down. Closed yesterday at 1137. It's trading at 1111 right now. TMC is at 532 after closing at 523 yesterday. SDC, again, has been like huge in social sentiment, probably for the last 2 weeks. It keeps popping up, and that's gapping up as well. Not much, but I mean, 571 closed yesterday at 566. hit a high this morning of 586. So definitely that one's looking pretty green too. AMC's up about $1. It's trading at 37.19. Just looking at what else I got over here. GameStop up about $2 now. It's currently at 180.40. And that's kind of it for these stocks that I have over here. I don't have enough monitors to keep an eye on everything. Yeah, Turt says GREE's up 25%. Short's going to short. Yeah, I mean, I think, it might get attacked right off the open. I'll go ahead and put that up over ATER right now too, just because it seems to be one that's moving a lot more. And that's a pretty decent gap too. I mean, being up as high as it is, I always, will anticipate that it's gonna go down. And then if you find an opportunity to jump in because it's the one time that it keeps going up, you can still jump in. But when something's up this much right now, I think that you kind of have to assume that it's gonna at least try to fill the gap a little bit before you can get in. So he says, oh, there we go, Patrick. So Patrick says Apollo only has 200,000 before August 16th. The new filing indicated they bought 1 million shares before September 24th. Got it. So you're saying the average volume is so low, hard for that position to get out. So, yeah, I mean, I would imagine that they're probably going long term then, right? There has been kind of average volume low, but then if you look even at like chart exchange on a stock like this, and this kind of even goes back to like like with Clove, the same type of stuff we talk about. You start seeing like volume coming in through the dark pool on some of these stocks, and for someone to come in and buy 1 million shares on a stock that's got that low of average volume, like I think right now with VIH, just pull this over. Your dark pool volume on a daily basis, even right there on September 17th, we see 1.1 million in the dark pool. That could have been them. That could have been their purchase. September 14th, 1.3 million. And then we had some high volume days dating back in early September, 2.7, 6, and 4. And that's just dark pool volume. So there was definitely an opportunity for them to come in and buy at that point. And, I don't know that, an institution like that would necessarily be looking to trade. I would think that they're trying to go long the stock, for the long haul, right? And that's where I'm looking at, like with the VIH, because it's a SPAC again. The way these things work, it doesn't always work this way after the merger, but its value right now is $10. I mean, you could see it was trading below 10 for a while at 982 or whatever, but the value's still $10 until the merger goes in and it becomes BAKKT. And at that point, then maybe you start basing it off fundamentals and, projections further out, where you think the company's going to end up, all that kind of stuff. But nobody in their right mind would, complete a merger at, that start coming in at $10 if the company's valuation is going to end up at 6, you know what I mean, or something like that. So I think the intention with a lot of these SPACs usually is that right off the bat, like this is an opportunity for investors to get in at 10. And then once they merge, the company might be worth 16 or something along those lines. I'm talking in a broader sense. And that's why kind of like the safest play always for SPACs is to get in as close to 10 as you can. Once the merger's announced, once everything else, like if we look back here at when we saw this movement up to 22 back in February, in January. If I had to guess, I would say that's probably when they announced who they were going to merge with. And then it falls back down to 10. And now I think once we kind of see a merger date, we'll start to see some more movement in the stock. And potentially the stock will start going to where the street thinks that it's going to be trading at long term. And I just realized that my level 2 is still on fold. There we go. Turt says pullback and chance to buy the dip. Yeah, I mean shit. Now it looks like it's looking to make another run. That's the thing when it's trading this high, and that's why, in terms of like, and I know it's hard to. I'll pull this up over here just so we could look at it real quick. Like buy signals and sell signals and all that. It's kind of harder to get in pre-market action, but really kind of the buy, and the volume was so low. I think maybe once the volume kind of poured in here, this would have maybe been a good opportunity. And we're still kind of trading above there right now. So it's really hard to say. Usually when when we get kind of further extended from these EMA lines, that's when I really start kind of keeping my stop losses a little bit tight. And then look for entry points as close to them as possible. But when you're getting up this kind of high movement, it makes it really hard, and you really just want to kind of take profits on the way back. But keep an eye. The other thing to keep an eye on is over here with these MACDs, and just look for another bullish crossover. Right now it's trading in the red, but yeah, I mean, I think GREE is going to kind of be the winner today on in terms of range and opportunity. Perilous Jose, what's good? What's going on? Says, Coach, what are your thoughts on CVU? Nothing. I don't have any thoughts on it. I don't know anything that's going on with it. It doesn't look like it's moving much at all right now, so I'm thinking this is more of a long-term play. You say it's an aerospace play. Just checking out the daily chart, and looks like a previous low way back here of 2, high of 7, and we're back down in the 2s right now. And let me get Clove back up here right now, and then I'll try to see what kind of news we have on that. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know anything about that play. CVU. Looks like aerospace CPI Aerostructure gets non-compliance notice from New York Stock Exchange. CPI Aero receives $3 million purchase order from U.S. Air Force. That's back in June. So it looks like recently in the news, the New York Stock Exchange gave them a non-compliance notice. And that was like on the 24th and 23rd that news dropped. So, yeah, I don't know much about that stock at all. Thomas, what's up? What's going on? You know what's crazy? I always see you pop up on Twitter, and I'm always liking your tweets and retweeting your stuff and everything. And I just realized yesterday that I wasn't following you on Twitter. I went and clicked on something, and I'm like, what the hell? And so I don't know if you noticed that, but after all this time, I just realized like, well, I'm not even following him right now. But yeah, what's going on? Good morning. So we're at 15 minutes to market open right now. Not much going on with Clove at all. Not even 100,000 in volume. Probably move this to the 5-minute right now just because it looks so choppy. I hate looking at stocks when they look like that. Some of the ones that I'm thinking have the potential for movement today: Fold, GREE, GOVX. If I look at the scanner just to see if anything else, GREE's actually at the top of the scanner now. Wasn't even on there earlier. GOVX, and Fold. So those are kind of the three big volume plays. And my buddy was asking me the other day, and I think we may have even talked about it on here before, but just like why volume is so in terms of day trade now. What makes volume so important, and really, it's the reason that I kind of use volume more than anything is, you don't want to be trying to day trade or jump in and out of a stock that's got, ridiculously low volume, because now you're the person moving the stock. And you never want to be the person moving the stock. You want to be the person profiting off the movement, right? You want to buy something, other people start buying it, move it, and then you get to get out for a profit. Or short something, and now other people are selling off, or whatever's going on that's moving the stock down, and now you get to get out for a profit. So you don't want to be the market mover. And that's why when you have high volume days on stocks, you definitely need that to be able to get in and out without affecting the stock price. But then on top of that, you want movers. You want stuff that's going to have a nice big range. And that's why, kind of the second criteria for me is usually like maybe stocks that are at their all-time highs, because usually that gives them, there is no ceiling. They can keep on running up, and that might give you some nice movement. Or stocks that are gapping, whether it be gapping up or gapping down, because again, that has the potential to give you some nice movement. Like if we look at GOVX right now, finished yesterday at 418, hit a high of 622 today. That's right there, over a 50% range right there, that this stock has the potential to move throughout today. It's going to open at 5. That leaves it with about, what would that be? This is quick math, but like a 20% downside, and probably another 20% upside, 25% upside. So it's like, you've got this nice range that the stock has the potential to play between with high volume. And those are the type of things that you need, or that would make you more successful, give you more opportunities to kind of get in and out. Same thing with GREE. GREE's trading right now at 20, or closed yesterday at 23. Popped up to 31.35 this morning. Again, nice big increase. I think that's like 25% or something along those lines. So you have a nice range. Even if the stock is going to fall down, that's good. Let it fall down. Let's let it come down to 25. And now when you see a reversal, you could jump in, and that it's got the potential to maybe run up to 30, 31. So those are the type of things that I'm looking for. And that's why, the biggest thing that I scan for is volume. What's got the most volume coming in today? Then you can kind of look at the stocks, look at the daily charts, kind of see what's going on with them, why they're moving, and maybe what has the potential based on, prior strength and resistance, to make a nice run. Sly Dev, what's up? Says KVSB merging with Nextdoor. Current price is 10.13. Will change to Kind after merge, but I can't find the merge date. Would you buy now or wait closer to the merge date once released? With SPACs, my thing is, and I'm assuming this is a SPAC, right? Yeah. If so, this is the way I always look at it, right? So like Nextdoor, if you're looking to own Nextdoor long term and you really like the company, the closer you can get to $10 on a SPAC, the safer you are, because the downside is 10, getting to $10. So it's got a 13-cent downside if you were to buy it right now. A lot of times you won't know the merge date until like VIH is having a meeting coming up here, and then after that meeting, then they'll make the announcement. But you know, yeah, if you can get in as close to 10 as possible, um, you know, you should be safe. But at the same time, what we've been seeing with you know, a lot of these SPACs after they merge is they get attacked, right? They're, you know, all the SPACs have been getting attacked recently. Um, and, you know, so if you're looking for like a long term investment type thing, if you really believe in the company and you think that it's going to be worth more than what it's trading at now, I would get in as close to 10 as possible, you know, prior to the merger. Um, you know, where you really get burned is like when you try to get into one and the merger's already been announced, the date's already set, the stock's running up to $25, and then you jump in and then the merger happens and it falls back to like 12, you know. But if you're in at 10, then to me, that's the safest play with the SPAC, without knowing much about those. Thomas, I don't really, I gotta be honest, MMAT's one that I haven't followed at all. I know Al Trades did some videos on it and looked into it a while back. Um, you know, but I never got into MMAT or Torch. I know a lot of people were in it. I remember reading a little bit about it on Reddit. This was probably 2 months ago when they did their merger and everything, but um, just never really got into that stock at all. Yeah, Clove has absolutely zero volume coming in right now. Um, Even if you look at Clove, like Clove was a SPAC, right? Which is why we're sitting here talking about it. So $10 would be kind of the price. Let me take this back as far back as it'll go. $10 would have been the price that you could have got in pre-merger. And it opened up once the merger. This is like right when the merger happened. This is as far back as we can go. June 8th of what, 2020. So it came in right around 10, you know, kind of traded around in that range, went as high as 12, you know, went as high as 13. This is now, once it's a company that's been kind of, you know, that the merger already took place, got up to 17, and then got shot down to 6. So I'm not saying that, you know, this stock could never go below 10. And I'm getting back to what you were asking about, Slide Dev, is I mean, once the merger goes through, anything can happen with the stock. But the whole idea of these SPACs is that $10 is kind of like the entry level investment price. So that's like, if it's a company that you really like and that you're into, um, this would probably be the best opportunity to get in. Uh, Tom says, "How's your trading been since going back to work? Does it suck?" Yeah, you know, I was talking about that a little bit earlier. Like, I've been doing these scans every day, and occasionally I've been able to jump in and out of a stock, and I'll like maybe have a watch list up, and you know, if I'm on my break or maybe, you know, it's brunch or something, and I see a buy signal, I've been able to get in and out of something. But other than that, I haven't been doing much while I'm at work. Last week was amazing because I was actually off work for a couple of days, and I had the opportunity to really follow these stocks that I had on the watch list, and we had some pretty big days last week and the week before with ATER and a couple other ones. So, um, but yeah, I can't. For me, that's kind of why I've always been not always, but you know, during the school year and everything, when I am at work, it's more of like a swing trade mentality. But the way the markets are right now, I really don't want to jump into anything long term. Yesterday, I opened up. I talked about it earlier this morning. Yesterday, I opened up another put position on the SPY, so I went back with the 410 puts. Talked about it a little bit yesterday morning and the night before on the No Financial Limits show. But, you know, once I kind of saw it falling again yesterday, I opened those put positions back up and, really as a hedge to the markets, if they're profitable right now, I got a stop loss set to get me out at break even if I have to. But if this thing comes tumbling down to like 410 or even 420, those things should make some pretty decent bank. So that's the other thing that I've been doing is just trying to enter into some swings on the overall market right now. Noah says, why do fast food places got to give you one less ketchup packet than you need? Oh, man. Very disturbed. What's up? Good morning. Danny did it, says Coach. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it's apparent. Have a great day. Awesome, honest, and insightful. Right on, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, and I try to be as, if I don't know something, I'll let you guys know I don't know something. And that's something that I've always talked about. Like, if I don't know, I'll let you know I don't know. And I learn a lot just sitting here doing this too. Sometimes I learn from you guys in the chat or, the questions that you ask and try, make me go look something up. And then I'll get intrigued and I'll go read about it later and go try to figure out what's going on. But I just been so damn busy right now since football season started back up with coaching and everything else that I haven't had that time to really do the research once I hop off the stream. Stars, what's up? Sorry, you know what? I actually starred your comment earlier and I was gonna come back to it and then I completely forgot. My bad. I did not mean to ignore you. Again, this is another stock that I don't know anything about. OLPX IPO, so nothing's coming up right now. It looks like. What company is that? I don't know anything about it. I'll look it up right now on again, I've been, it's a little bit different over the summer. Like I was off the entire time. I'd jump off the stream, go do some research, do some reading, make a couple videos. But now that like school's in and football's in, I've really been strapped for time. So Olaplex. Go public on September 30th. Company sees pricing its shares between 17 and 19. Filed to sell 67 million shares. Seeking a valuation between 11 billion to 13 billion. I mean, with any IPOs, honestly, good opportunities to day trade, but I feel like retail usually gets burned trying to jump in on an IPO date. I really do. Like, even if we, I know we're about to hit the opening bell right now. But if you look at, any recent IPOs, typically what happens is, like right now, they're saying the company's seeing pricing its shares between 17 and 19. Original prior range was 14 to 16. So what happens with these IPOs, and there's the opening bell too, but what happens with these IPOs is the bank that's representing them, they get like first dibs at the shares before it even hits the market, right? So usually like their preferred clients and people like that, they get first crack at buying these shares. So they might get these shares for 14 to 16 bucks starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. or whatever time. And then let me see here. Why is this zoom off? There we go. and then they might run the price of the shares up to $28 before it even hits the market. Now it's going to hit the market and maybe take off, and maybe it even hits 40. It opens up at 40, but we already know that the company was pricing these shares at 14 to 16. So now you try to jump in at 40 right when it hits the open market, and then what happens? Everybody who got in pre beforehand at 14 to 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, they're already up double on their money, and they dump the shares, and now retail gets stuck holding the bag and becoming a long-term shareholder of this company. Even if you believe in it, you never want to be in that situation. So I think, with any IPOs, you just got to kind of do your research ahead of time. If the company's seeing price in its shares between $17 and $19 is what I'm reading right now. I don't know how old this article is. Potentially, if you like the company and you want to be a long-term investor in it or something like that, if all of a sudden you're able to get in somewhere close to that price target, then sure, that would be a great buy. But don't get caught in the hype. If all of a sudden tomorrow morning, you go look and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and all of a sudden this thing hits the market at 32 and starts running, and you're like, oh my God, I really want to be a part of this company, and you go buy at 36 or something, more often than not, it's going to end up dropping right back down to 20 within the next couple months or weeks or days. That's kind of the whole reason that SPACs were brought about. Zip Jester, what's up? Good morning. Ghost is in the house. What's going on? So yeah, Stars, I hope that answered your question. I don't know. I've always been burned on IPOs when I tried to get in for like long-term investments the day of. I just feel like if it opens up super high, kind of hang back and wait. And it'll probably fall back to where you wanted to buy it at. If it doesn't, maybe it wasn't meant for you. There's always going to be another stock, you know? That's kind of always been my outlook. But that's why, SPACs were originally invented or brought about, was so that retail investors like you and I can get into stocks without having to compete with these people that have access to getting in before they hit the market, and all these big banks and everybody else. So the whole intent of a SPAC is that, the merger price is $10. That's the entry price. So if you can get in on a specific SPAC that you like at $10.10, okay, well, I'm only overpaying 10 cents right now. And who know, this company might be worth whatever once they merge, but I can get in now at the ground floor. But that's also the reason that SPACs have been getting attacked so hard, is because it threatens the way that, old money in the stock market has been able to profit off retail and everybody else off these IPOs. I mean, IPOs really have just been cash cows for the banks that represent the companies that are going public and all their clients. So old money gets to get in and buy in at these ridiculously low prices and run the stock price up before it even hits the market, and then they get to sell on retail. And that threatens their way of making a living, or their way of generating more wealth. And that's why they don't like SPACs, and I think that's why we're seeing SPACs get attacked so hard recently and really just get hammered to shit. I mean, that's all we've been seeing is even after de-SPACing, we're seeing a lot of these SPACs just like a Clove continue to get hammered down. And then the narrative that they want to put in the media is that, well, SPACs are so dangerous for retail investors. No, IPOs are more dangerous for retail investors. The shorting and the market manipulation is what's making SPACs dangerous. That's a little bit different. So yeah. All right, let's see. Danny says PALTs halted to the upside. Oh wow. Yeah. 550 to 622. That's definitely more than 10% on that 1 minute candle. So that'll trigger a halt for sure. Clove is grossly oversold right now. This is way down here at like 14 on the RSI. And the SPY is continuing to head downwards. I'm just looking around. Again, we're only about 6 minutes in. TMC is currently down. Trading at 514, down about 1%. SDC had a big red candle, big 5 minute red candle, same thing, down about 1%. GREE is up. We knew that. It was gapping up. ATER down 5%, trading at 1084. Looks like a lot of these had a big red candle to start off and are starting to kind of rally back a little bit. And the SPY right now is actually up because it had gapped up off that 432-ish mark from yesterday, or 433. So still early. It's really early. In the first 5 to 10 minutes of the market, it's hard to tell what's what. You kind of got to give it a little bit more time, see where things kind of base out at, and kind of establish your range on the day. Like right now, Clove's trading between 781 and 763. You kind of want to. You got GREE in the first 6 minutes or so between 31.75 and 28.65, with a huge gap to the downside. So this is definitely one that I would look to kind of like maybe see where it bottoms out and then look for that nice entry point. It's definitely in a bearish territory right now. It just, you got your 9 crossed under the 20 and both crossed under the 50 SMA. It's trading below VWAP. I think GREE's going to give a little back before it takes off, if it does. And Fold was kind of in similar territory, went all the way up to 1295, and it almost filled the gap now from where it closed yesterday. So, I think it might have like 50 more cents if it was to go down. But I really like Fold today as something to kind of jump in and out of. Andy Smith, what's up? Good morning. Thank you for joining. All right. Looks like we're almost at 640. Sir Horror says Clove breaks my heart every day. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing shares, here's the thing, because I kind of feel the same way. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because, you get into a play, you believe in it. I do. I still do. Nothing's changed there. It's just frustrating because it's taking so much time, right? But patience is it pays off on the investment side, and that's where you got to kind of look at this stock as an investment. It's definitely, I expected some things to happen with this stock a lot sooner, but I still think that this stock long term is going to be a millionaire maker, and I keep saying that because, you can continue to accumulate here, and there's going to be a time where this stock gets up and starts trading every day at $30, and we're going to be sitting here saying, I can't believe this is trading at 30. This stock's worth 80. As the company continues to rapidly expand and grow and start breaking out the being seen as a tech company too, and then it's going to be, this stock should be trading for 100, and it's going to keep going up and keep giving us opportunities to buy when it's undervalued. But right now, I mean, we are at the bottom, and if you're playing shares or long-term options, sit back and wait. It's the short-term options that'll kill you, right? And that's why I always say, I have no problem with playing short-term options. Just know what you're getting into. Know that it's a bet. Know that it's, something that is highly unlikely to happen, but when it does, it's going to pay off significantly. So don't YOLO into your short-term options. Don't YOLO into, out of the money calls or anything like that. But I do think I'm not against option play. I play a ton of options, all the time actually. But you just got to be smart with it and how much you're going to play with. And I know that's not what you were getting at, Sir Horror, and I'm just going off on a little rant right now, because I have been seeing, I see a lot of posts of people like, basically trying to tell people how to invest. Don't play options. Don't do this. Don't do that. I mean, I agree with that if you don't understand what you're doing. But there's a ton of money to be made in the options game once you kind of get a feel for it. And if you don't play it like gambling, I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. And that's one thing that's always kind of frustrated me is and that's something that, I think really kind of started up this year with all these squeeze plays and the whole hold mentality and, people rallying behind a stock. And it's like, we got to hold for everybody. Like, nah, you do you and you make your money. But in terms of options too, like, you could make an absolute killing on them. Just don't go overboard with high risk. Dave, what's up? Shorts want us to get frustrated and impatient and sell to them at ridiculously low. Do not sell Clove, in my opinion. Shares are the way to outlast the shorts. Options increase anxiety. Yeah, no, absolutely, and I agree with that. Share, and I mean, I'm sitting on, like I said, pretty much majority shares or leaps. And when I talk about leaps, I'm talking 2023s. There's also 2024s out now. So, I mean, you can get way out there. And I mean, that's pretty much as good as shares. I don't think anyone, myself included, is expecting to still be sitting here complaining about this stock being at $8 by 2023. So that's where I mean, like, those type of options are smart. If you're going to go short term on anything, I'd rather go in the money. Otherwise, just know that you're probably throwing money away. And, or just treat it like a bet. I'm not going to put my life savings on the Niners, just because I think they're going to beat the Packers on Sunday night. It's a bet. I might throw $50 on it or something like that. And I know that if I lose, I'm perfectly fine with losing it. And I think that's the approach that you have to take. When you try to play those short-term ones, don't use any money that you need, and definitely don't chip into your investment into the stock. Never sell shares to play short-term options or, anything like that, because it'll end up getting you killed in the long run and blowing up your account. AMC starting to pop a little bit right now. I mean, from 36.90 to 37.44, but it just looks pretty nice on on the chart. The green candle's taking off. So not huge movement, but GameStop's kind of following it too. 177 to 180, so about a $3 move there. I still think those stocks are going to move at some point, and make another run. All right, so it looks like we're at 6:45. I'm gonna go see the kids off for school and everything. Thank you everybody for joining. Hope you're enjoying the show. I know I've been doing this a lot earlier than when I first started. I used to get on at 6 and run the show until 8 o'clock, but with work and everything else, I know I've adjusted the time frame, and a lot of you guys are still coming on early, and I appreciate it. As long as people are coming in watching, I'll continue to do it. And like I said, I'm having fun, and I'm really, really enjoying this. And thank you guys. I appreciate it. Catch you tomorrow morning. See you later.